Hello, good morning everyone. The time is 6:06 a.m. Last night, or yesterday, around 4 o'clock, uh, 39 Valerie Lane called the police while I'm here in Colombia. The police came to my house. An officer took a report. The people who were also at my house with Anthony Pesmenti were a woman named Mary and Anthony's brother, Richard. I am downloading videos from a camera that is in the living room. These clips take a long time to download, using 3 phones right now to do this. 1, 2, 3 to download these clips. I don't know exactly what was said here. That's why I'm downloading the clips, because I know that Tony has lied to the police before. That's on YouTube. That's one of the first clips in the playlist. Tony giving his false persona to the police, just like he has to many people and young boys. As a Boy Scout leader, as a Royal Rangers church group leader. Royal Rangers is like the Boy Scouts, just like the Boy Scouts, as a part of the Assemblies of God Church. So it's a Boy Scouts for Assemblies of God. Tony uses this false persona for whatever reason, but including to bring admiration from boys, just like he did with me. But with me, I was in junior ROTC. I wanted to go into the military because the military could help me go to college and to have a life. I have 39 hours of private pilot's lessons flying at Danbury Airport. And Tony he flew the SR-71 Blackbird J mod, which is the most top secret because it carried nuclear weapons. Of course, Tony has a lot of stories that I have cataloged, but I know that Tony's extremely self-protecting at all cost. At all cost. Like, for example, when I was young and I first knew Tony, I would have been 15 years old. I found on Tony's computer gay pornography. Now, a lot of young men come to Tony's house. When I said something to Tony, what is this? He put it onto a young man. He said, "Oh, that must have been Nate." Okay. I let it go. Another time, there was a young man recently living with us. Tony went crazy for him. Tony was crazy for him. His name is Nick. Uh, he moved out about 3 years ago, maybe. He had a motorcycle, a Yamaha. It was like a Yamaha 600 or no, maybe a 1200. That was a beast. I don't. It was a beast, very heavy. Um, and the license plate was 00 dash NMFP. N00 NMFP. And then one day I, got up and went out to work. I saw a label on the license plate, and it said, "Need men for pleasure." Kind of let it go, and I guess Nick saw it and took it off because Nick didn't do it. Tony is a major label maker. He labels everything in the house. He'll label the salt the salt shaker, pepper shaker, everything. Like so many things have printed labels, as in from a label maker. You type it into the label maker device, and it'll print out a strip. Tony takes those strips and labels things, and this was the strip that I found, that I saw on the license plate, NMFP, Need Men for Pleasure. When Nick asked Tony about this, Tony said, "Oh, that was John. I guess that was John." Well, I didn't say anything to Nick for a long time, and Nick moved out. But then later on, sometime later, I mentioned this to Nick. NMFP, Need Men for Pleasure, and Nick told me that Tony told him I did it because he didn't do it. And I told Nick I didn't do it. That's Tony. He will lie and defend himself in petty little things, and he is self-protecting at all cost, no matter what. My concern is that Tony has already lied to the police, and little things happen in Tony's mind that are shifts in reality, I guess. So yesterday, I just had the random idea to open up the camera app. Like, I don't do that. I don't open up that camera app. I don't really have a reason to, really. But I opened it up, and there's a police officer in the living room. And with Tony's brother, who, quote, hates my guts. I'll mention this. I have an ex-girlfriend who was going to WestCon, and she would sometimes come to our house to use the computer. And while using the computer, she saw in browser history a 5-hour span of watching pornography around midnight. And it was bestiality, women with animals, and women with poo-poo, like poo-poo porn. So I mentioned something to Tony about this. Like, Tony, this is on your computer. Just in case, you might want to be careful with this one. And when Tony said something to Rick exploded, as he does, and said I was spying on him. And I was not. He used the computer, put that browser. I'm not spying on you, Rick.